Understanding field service permission sets. So, an easy visibility of what the permission sets are that need to be set up can be found in your field service settings, getting started permission sets. Now, these can get confusing to people, so I'm going to dive down through. You have the dispatcher. That's your person actively managing the schedule, having access to the field service tab, which is your Gantt, your schedule, your day to day view. You have your resources, which are called service resources, technicians, Bob, whoever you've got, but somebody who's schedulable to go perform work out in the field. Field service agent, which is somebody who's on the phone saying, "Hey, Mr. Client, I see you have this problem. We can be out Thursday at 2." Field service self service, which is for community, people who actually are going to self book their own appointments in the community. Then you have some subcontractors or some franchises that have field service community dispatchers who are going to schedule work to resources within their company. You have the admin who should know what this tab is already. And the new one, field service bundles for dispatchers, which is just giving the permission to an admin or a dispatcher to bundle together appointments. So how would this actually work for a resource on the back end? If you're not using getting started and guided setup, which does make things a little simpler, you're going to see these individual permission sets in the backend. And this is how you should provide them. All of them are paired with a license and a permission. And that license gives access to the functionality where the permissions give you permissions to access the functionality. If you have an admin, somebody who needs to see everything, set up service resources, set up service territories, make work types, work skills, they should receive both of these, the field service admin license and the field service admin permissions. If you have agents, so essentially anybody in the office who can book an appointment or somebody in a direct call center, then you would give the field service agent license and field service agent permissions. Dispatchers should automatically start with the dispatcher license and dispatcher permissions. However, a couple things are true. Now that we have the bundles, if you're going to use bundling, then you would add the field service bundle for dispatcher license and field service bundle for dispatcher permissions. Additionally, if you're in the middle of a project and you're testing, you might additionally want to give them a resource license and resource permission so that they can create a resource for themselves, as well as the mobile license, so that they can play around and experiment and test what the techs are going to see. Technicians are interesting and are often missed because there are three permission sets. There's the resource license, which gives them the ability to be scheduled, the mobile license, which allows them to use the mobile app, and then the resource permissions, which gives them access to see their own service resource, to see work orders, to see service appointments that you would add in. Now, for you, those of you with the additional use cases, if you're going to be in the community, field service self-service permissions to give the 100 people who need to self-book their own appointments for maintenance or for sales, or just to fix something, can all occur through here. If you are in a dispatcher in the community model, you would give them these two permissions. These permissions are what then allow that base access and the capability to do the work that they need to do. One more important note that tends to confuse people is if you remove this permission set or a permission set that has a license without or after you've already given it, then you need to remove that license as well, because even though it gets added when this is added, it doesn't get removed when this is removed. That is often a source of confusion for people when they see there's not any licenses left, but nobody has this permission set. That will often look like, hey, why am I out of this dispatcher license? Nobody has it, or only this one person has it. The way that you would end up doing that, and this occurs for all of the license-based ones, is you would go in and see these license assignments. If I remove the dispatcher license, it's not going to remove this license. So therefore, if I need to move this from this user to a new user, I would go ahead and delete it. All right. This is David from Empodio, focused on home and business services field service, and I hope this made your life a little bit easier.